Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a Cat's Hit the Deck review of this Blessed Be deck. So it's kind of an oracle deck, but it doesn't really say that. I mean, technically each card is a blessing, so you can take that how you want it. This is by Lucy Cavendish, and it's artwork by Jane Starr Weils. Hopefully that's being pronounced right, and I'm not mangling it. It says, mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower. There's like a little tumbleweed over here. So it comes in a box here. It's slimline. It's by Blue Angel Publishing Company. When I got these, I got another deck at the same time that was published by Blue Angel, and I'm not sure which one it was. It might have been the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, but I'm not sure. Or the it was either that, or it was the other one I got with this was the Lover's Oracle. So either one or the other of them, also by Blue Angel, but I can't remember which one. So here's the side, top, the other side, and the bottom, and then the back again. So it just shows a few of the cards, some information. Copyright 2018, so it's not that old. It says designed in Australia and printed in China. Okay. That over here. So it comes with a guidebook. It's about 130 pages, because I was just flipping through that before I started. Guidebook. Okay. So it's got this same purple theme throughout the whole thing with the same other image. So it has about the authors and the artist, and then it has these paragraphs, or like page and a half-ish for each card with a little thumbnail image of them. And, you know, if you want to get the whole blessing, if that's how you do, you can read that. You could just read this key paragraph here. Other than that, the name of the cards tend to be fairly straightforward, but if you do want to get more in-depth than just what the card says and the images on it, there's this whole book here for it. It's got a couple of some information on spreads, so that's helpful. I hardly ever use the book for this, and I almost prefer not to, but that's just me. Watch in like a month, I'll be doing readings, and I'll be like, let me read out of the book. Just kind of depends on how I feel. So the interior is also purple. I've got some nail polish scratches on there. Obviously not from this batch, because they're not even, it's like barely even on my hand at all. So just lighter purple inside. So I'll get into the texture of these cards a little bit more after, but they're fairly large size. They're a little bit oversized. They're fairly plasticky. There does seem to be a paper core, but they've got a plastic finish. They're not, I'm like bending the card. They're not super thick. They're pretty bouncy. They're fairly thin, but they're strong. They're really bouncy, and because they're so large, I have a hard time shuffling them back in the other direction. So my cards are currently bent, and they also don't really want to shuffle back in the other direction. They're kind of difficult in that way. So once you get them going in a certain direction, they'll probably stay that way, but that's all right. So I'll give a little shuffling demonstration afterwards, but these are a bit larger than other cards. They're not as big as the Syrian Starseed Tarot, but they're pretty big. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning. So we have number one, and these don't seem to have any suits. They're just sort of randomly colored on the border, as far as I can tell. But it might give some meaning to the card. Like this one, especially with the green, it gives me a more earthy feel. Of course, it also says a blessing of the earth. I'm trying to get this a little bit so I don't have to lean forward as much. There we go, that's better. A blessing of the earth. Okay. So usually I look around and what's going on to the card, what's going on in the outfit, what their emotion is when I see this. With the one there, it gives a little bit maybe Ace of Pentacles energy. Sometimes I feel like these connect to major arcana, sometimes I connect them to minor. It's whatever I'm feeling at the time. So you have a blessing of the earth. Also, I like these little birdies. I like the little birdies on the back. There. These are, it doesn't, at first glance, these cards don't seem directional, but I figured out that when this green bird is upside down, that's when the card is upright. So if you're, look at this close up. If you don't like knowing which direction the card is going, then don't pay attention to that. But for me, once I learned the secret of the little birdies, now I know that the card is inverted because the green bird is upright. It's a really nice design, though. I like it. Blue bird. Yellow bird. Okay, so get this back over. Focused out to here. So that looks pretty good. So blessing of the earth. A blessing of the air. It'll be little swirlies. Blessing of fire. She reminds me of the Queen of Wands. She's toasty. Blessing of fire. And a blessing of the waters. So we have what looks potentially like a mermaid or an elf or somebody here. There's a little lotus. It's a blessing of the waters. And then a blessing on your day. So it usually gives me a bit of a pentacles feel because she's in green. But she's also a fairy, so could be an air elemental too. But a blessing on your day. Just trying to get that into focus better. It's not focusing on the bottom of the card. I think that's a little better. Blessing on your day. Blessing on your sleep. So we have a moon and we have the owls. You're all helpful for interpreting how this relates to the rest of our reading. I mean, you could read with these just by themselves, but I like to use them as oracles for tarot. Blessing on the senses that gift the world to you. I think there's, oh yeah, there's a bee involved there too, the honeycomb. Blessing on your intuition. Extra purple here, we're getting that crown energy. Indigo here with the third eye with her dress, I guess, that she's wearing. And we have an owl, the Triskelion back here. Crystal ball. So, intuition. A blessing on your health, number 9. This dragon here. She's got some kind of a potion. This could relate to mental health too if you're associating this with number 9 as the hermit. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. So a blessing on a home. This card, a lot of the time when I see it, I notice that the woman is covered up. So there might be like it's like I don't feel like I can be open with you, perhaps. But that's not always. But we do have number 10 here, which could be some kind of a completion. But she also could be like an empress, like she's abundant. It just depends on how the card goes with the rest of the reading. It can take on a different connotation. I feel like I'm moving that a lot. There we go. These are pretty shiny. You can see. Shiny. So number 11, a blessing on the children. So a little unicorn baby with third eye activation, moon, transformational butterflies. Number 11 could be universal timing, could be justice, depending. And we have this rich midnight color here as well, which could be the third eye. So blessing on the children. And then we have a blessing on the mother. Sort of empress energy in there. Sort of busty and fertile looking. Out in the woods. And then there's only like 2 cards with masculines on them, and this is one of them. 2 or 3 at most. A blessing for good men and fathers. This to me has a lot to do with like a mercurial energy that's bridging up from sort of a youthful trickster. I see motorcycle goes by. Not stupid enough to shout over a motorcycle at this point in my life. Is like a mercurial, youthful, masculine energy that's bridging up to like responsible adulthood, king and emperor kind of energy. And there's like a crown opening. There's a bird here. There's a crown. So that's what I often get with this card. And again, there's like a whole page and a half in the book. But we also have number 13 here, which seems auspicious as it is, also, whatever, you know what I mean. 14, a blessing on a friendship. So now we have a bigger unicorn, and this was drawn really weird, and I couldn't make heads or tails of this card for a while, but this is, she's like leaning over, and then this is her other like arm, like the top of her other arm over here. And this is, oh, this is like a strap that's like, this part has a strap that's coming down. That looked weird. Okay. So we have a horn, third eye stuff. We have a huge moon, the moon again. We have this sort of connection. So blessing on a friendship. Blessing on your family. So there's another unicorn with a moon behind it. This one's a little brown baby unicorn. Still, it's for camouflage out there. So blessing on your family. Usually I see her as sort of in between the 2 and the Queen of Swords, because she's got, you know, one armored shoulder, but she's backing down, and that usually is more significant to me than the idea even of family in general. But there's like castle and everything. So blessing on your family. Here's another masculine. I guess there's, I think maybe there's 4 total. I think there's 4. Blessing on your ancestors. This guy looks a little bit like the hermit, but he's old, right? He's the ancestor. He might not even be in this realm. Look at all this like purple, ow, my shoulder. All this indigo and violet around him. 16, a blessing on your ancestors. Healing that ancestral trauma, perhaps. So you have a blessing on your love. So this is kind of like that other masculine from the 13, and he's gone through this portal, and now he's fully into this. What's the other one? He's more fully into this mature masculine energy. It's like here he's just like, I don't know, man, and here he's like, look how much bigger this crown has got. It's opened up into a portal that he can walk through now. Right? It looks like the same guy. I never noticed that before. And then a moon as well. Right? It's like he's taken on the shadow. He's taken on the ego. And now not only is he in like masculine energy, but he's like, hey, look, love as well. Like, ooh. So that guy. And then we have a blessing for good work. I believe that's a kingfisher, but I could be mistaken. It's got a little crown on it. So a blessing for good work. Perhaps planting and harvesting might be involved. Communing with nature. Possibly. So a blessing on your creativity. So here we have this feminine, and they are playing a wind instrument. They've got a couple of birds here. I don't know if they're like herons or cranes or whatever, but maybe they're snowy egrets. I have no idea. So you have a blessing on your creativity. Now notice how there's blue involved here. It's like brown grounding, and then blue is like speaking, and then there's this gold here, which might be the solar center. Like I'm confident in expressing myself here. Number 19. 20, a blessing on a new venture. I really do like these images. They're really good, like storybook images. Artwork by Jane Starr Weils. I'd be interested to see what else she makes. Should be really good for illustrating books. So a blessing on a new venture, number 20. This is a little bit Sagittarian energy, right? I'm going to see where it takes me, right? I'm going to send out I'm going to throw my energy in a certain direction and see where it goes. So blessing to bring prosperity. This looks like a young feminine who's working on bridging up to being the Empress. Like she's practicing making the fruit grow. That's how I see that. But it doesn't have to be a blessing to bring prosperity. We have a blessing on a journey. The moon again. A lot of the times these interpretations of these cards for me changes based on what else is going on in the reading. Like the birds might mean something, the moon might mean something, the brown and the white and I think that's a lily might mean something, and then the red hair might mean something too. It just depends. And again, you can always get into the book. Let me just, for an example, let me read from the book a little bit. Just on this card for funsies, number 22, 11. Just so people can get a taste of what reading out of the book would be like. Even though I'm reviewing this, it doesn't really matter. All right. So if I wanted to read out of the book, a blessing on your time away from home and on the road, a blessing on the in-between, the liminal space, the borderlands you will inhabit. May the road you take be blessed as you begin this journey into the unknown. For while you may have plans and a map and compass to guide you, there is much that will surprise and amaze you. May the leaving of home be done with ease, knowing it will be safe until you return to its shelter once more. May you experience the joy of anticipation. Let the moment of embarkation be a great thrill. When you take flight or board ship or car or whatever vehicle it is that will see you safely across the miles, let there be elation. May you encounter kindness upon the road, strangers who show the very best of themselves, and may there be hospitality and delightful turns of good luck, serendipitous meetings, and quiet moments too, so you can fully absorb the adventures of each day. May the adventurous spirit within you be delighted by your wanderings, and may you relish to the full each day upon the strange road you are traveling. I know some of my word breaks are a little bit off there, but I'm trying. May the purpose of the journey be blessed. Whether you leave excited or reluctant, may whatever trip it is you take be fulfilled in its spirit, and may the days fill themselves with future memories that will feed your soul for years to come. May the skies shine down on you. May the plans you made be exceeded by their reality. May all go more than well for you. And when it comes time to return home, traveler, may your home open its arms up and take you in. May there be friends with whom to tell the tales of the road and share the gifts you have returned with. Arrive home safely, enriched with discovery, inspired and open-hearted, and full of love, for this is the world we dwell within, for it is wondrous, and this you have found to be the truth. And then it says, blessed be. So that's what happens when you read the page that goes with the card. You get a mouthful of marbles. That's what you get. All right. So we have a blessing for protection. A little bit Empress energy here as well. The greenery. Crown energy. A blessing to find your way. This card, I actually really like this card. All right, it's like tangled up in all the vines, naked, vulnerable, exhausted. But here, this one little flower is like, hey, come this way. You're about to get where you need to go. Right? So we have a blessing to find the truth. So we have that blue energy there for the throat. Notice how there's one, I think that's a raven. It looks a little square in the back of the head. So one raven, differently colored from the others, really stands out. What is this message? Blessing for the right words. 26. This purple energy here, it's like they're trying to download the message. The little hummingbird there. 27, a blessing on a resolution. I love these cards with like the single shoulder armor. That's really cool. You know. It's like these or these. Surgery or death. Another motorcycle. No, it's like, and then like holding the little sword to the chest. It's like, what is the truth in my heart? I've got to, you know, figure out what I'm sticking to. Blessing to heal a relationship. Mm-hmm. 2 people. Oh, there's a part of a third person over there too. It kind of looks like a third-party situation that killed off a relationship. That's interesting. I might have noticed that once before. But anyway, there's two big flowers here and a message. Blessing to heal a relationship. Blessing on a battle that cannot be avoided. That's like the Tower. Number 29. Breaking down to 11. Universal timing. A blessing to lift sadness. This is kind of like if you flipped over a 3 of swords. The moth, transformation in darkness. 31, a blessing for forgiveness. An owl here, helping out. Moon energy. Got a magnetron. Blessing for peace of mind. That's what's on the cover. Blessing for peace of mind. That's a good choice for the cover. Look at these little jewels here. Look at this blue and indigo. Blessing on your boundaries. This reminds me of 8 of Swords a little bit. 33. Blessing for a fresh start. Coming out of the winter of your discount tents. Blessing to bring clarity. Another single arm armor. Look at this. Intricate pattern. It's like trying to reveal the pattern. Mental transformation. It's like if I turned over the 9 of Swords. Ending the nightmares. Or turned over the 5 of Swords. Confusion. Blessing on your wisdom. Look at all that indigo. Flowing information. Trying to be crown energy back here. And the moon as well. Owls, birds, wolves. Blessing on your wisdom. 36. All kinds of crystal down there. All kinds of useful little tidbits. Blessing for unity where there was once division. A little bunny. Does make me feel like the Empress. But in that way, it makes me think of the Hierophant more than the Empress by herself. Somebody's got a charcoal grill going. Could smell it. Or they lit something on fire with fireworks, depending. A blessing on growing older. 38. We have it. The crone. And here's the other guy. A blessing for support. Coming in like the Knight of Swords. I can hear some fireworks in the background. Must be what I smelled. A blessing to ease loneliness and bring companionship. This reminds me of the Nine of Wands a little bit. Number 40. The purity in the white. A blessing for solace and hope. Still in the winter of the discount tents. This is very much Five of Pentacles. Especially with the number 5 there. 41. Blessing for healing of injury or illness. 42. This is... 42 breaks down to 6. Which is the Lovers, which can be healing. But it also comes in very much with Pentacles energy. Right? Because Pentacles can be the physical body. It's healing. 6 of Pentacles. Balanced generosity, maybe. Possible. My battery's going. Hopefully I can finish this. I've only got a few more cards left. So, a blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. And people fear death. It's not often talked about. This is a good card for that. Getting into that conversation. 44. Blessing on a homecoming. Oh, I just got this card when I was reading for the Pick-a-Pile. Blessing on a homecoming. 44. 11 times 4. I got a blessing to shield and safeguard you. Again with the single thing in the armor. Very much Queen of Swords energy. But also 8 of Swords. There we go. Morrigan's Blessing of Peace After Battle. This is the last card in the deck, which is kind of like throwing down the world card. Right? This challenge, the tower, the thing couldn't be avoided. It's also like the star. 46 breaking down to 10, which is completion. Peace after battle. Right? You can't always avoid conflict. But you can, you know, have achieved something for going through it. So there we go. All right. So that's this deck. I didn't really talk about the cards that much because it really depends on what else is going on. But you've seen them. And again, I read one of them just so you get an idea of what that's like. All right. So if you'd like me to read you a tarot reading, let me get this over to my sign. There we go. I know it's at a weird angle, and it's probably... whatever. The complete list of readings I have and how much they cost is in the description box down underneath the video. If you'd like to donate, energy exchange tip jars, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I've got merch, prints, actual art items, coloring books, dark poetry. I've got a coupon code here for Etsy, 3star17. You get 17% off 3 or more items. And everything through the link tree. So all these payment points, email, this stuff and this stuff, social media, linktr.ee/cattheminion. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye!